All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, brothers and sisters all over the world. Kakas and dadas and kakas, watotos, children, Swahili, habari za sabui, habari za mchana, habari za jioni, brothers and sisters all over the world. All right. And I am talking to each and every one of you all over the world. The name of this channel is The African Times, and I'm Thomas. All right, everybody, I'm back. I'm back in the home spot, and loving you all. All right, Sante Sana to each and every one of you for viewing. I appreciate it so much. Thank you very much. Just a quick note, get this out of the way so that you understand. Thank you. Again, we're at over and above 1,000 subscribers, so thank you very much. Appreciate you so much. Please, if you would, hit that survival button, the subscription button, the subscribe button. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. It's very important. It's a way for you to partner up with us so that we can survive, but also so that we can continue to do the work that we're trying to do. And that work is very important work for the people, not only us, but the people. Many of you, if you've been watching, and those of you who are new, I'm going to give you briefly an idea. We have a transportation company. We try to move people around, and we want to be able to do that for children going back and forth to school, going back and forth to work. You got to go to the hospital. You got to go get groceries, whatever you need to survive, to make life a little easier for you. That's what we're trying to do at little or no cost to the people who are struggling to survive in this capitalist system, monetary-based system with profit as the primary goal. It's not my primary goal. It's not the goal of this channel, and it never will be. As long as I have air and breath in my body, I'm going to be here to do everything that I can to help our good, black, beautiful African people all over the world in every way that I can. And that will never change. Unbreakable, united, unbreakable, and unstoppable. It'll never change. Okay? All right. So subscribing is a way for you to help us with this endeavor without having to provide cash, money, things of that nature. Very helpful. And we're going to see what happens. I told you I'll be explaining to you. I've done some videos showing you what happened when we got 1,000 subscribers, and I'll continue to share those things so that that information is available for you should you decide to choose a similar path, whether it's pursuing YouTube as supplemental income. In some cases, people use it as primary income, but that requires I think, a large viewing audience, and then having content material that people like and enjoy to watch. So we're both engaged in both of those activities. Having content that people watch to assist us to raise revenue to do the things we want to do, but also to provide information to people who look like you and me in the world, and to bring information to them to help them understand the world that they live in a little bit more clearly. Okay, so that's going to be it for that. Appreciate you subscribing, hit that like button if you like, and comment. I read those. I'm pretty busy, so sometimes I get a little bit behind, but I generally try to read every comment that we get and respond to some. The last few weeks we've been very busy with the challenges that we have going forward with relocation, finding a place for us. You saw the videos. All of that stuff is still in play. but this is a dynamic environment. Dynamic means it's forever changing because you're faced with different challenges every day. All right. So again, hit that survival button. That's the subscription button. Please continue to do that and watch. Advertisements, I think, are going to start happening in and around the videos, and this is new for me. So please work with us as we kind of get an understanding of how this process works. And we don't want to make your viewing uncomfortable with advertisements and prevent the flow of the videos. But again, this is new for us, so hang in there as we work through it. Now, thank you. I'm going to continue. This video, I was making another video today, actually. Not this video. Not what I'm about to talk to you about now. But as I was clearing out memory so that I can have room to make this video, I ran across a picture. That's the picture you see on the thumbnail. And ooh, Jackie. Yeah, that picture looks so good to me. I had to put this video out before I did another. Jackie. I was looking at how she looked behind me in that video, and I just had to tell you, no, she looks good. She looks good, very, very good, and I love her. But that is now me looking at, like, stepping outside of myself and going, ooh, who is that? Now, oh, Fly, yeah. So I was like, ooh, I just had to tell you. But I had to tell you on a because it's more than just her. I had to tell you on a bigger scale. Yeah, I love her. It's my soulmate. We're going through life together. And this Fly is crazy. See, I'm outside. It's beautiful. It's rise and shine, everybody. It's rise and shine. So I came out to get some air, and it's not too hot yet. It's getting there. But I love her, right? Oh, man. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Jackie. Okay? I love her. We've been together 14 years, I think. 14 years. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, 2008 we were married. Well, we met in 2007. Yeah. So I think it might be going on our 15th year anniversary coming up. Yeah, what is that? No. Anyway, you do the math. If we married in 2008, 10 years would be 2018. Yeah, so going on 14 years. All right. I love her. Like, black man, black woman, black child, produce black babies, black families. My commitment to her was till death. And I'm not changing that, ever. No matter what we go through, it's a journey, it's a life, we didn't know. I'm gonna give you an example. This is love. Love for me. Love for me is undying. It's a commitment, just like I love black people, and I don't have any problem with saying that. It's a beautiful thing. Black, beautiful, black, blue, black, blacker than black people. You can take 1,000,000 midnights and multiply it by 1,000,000 midnights. That's how black I like the people and how much I love them. And it's never gonna change, ever. United, unbreakable, unstoppable. It'll never change, okay? So, yeah, so I love the black people. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't love the varying shades of us. And again, why I say black, I'm gonna get more into that in another video, but black is not just simply a color. That's one way to describe the individual that you see, or the thing that you see, by the various shades of black in which it comes, or browns, or yellows, or what have you. Color. It's just I think, an adjective. to describe it. I think that's what they call it in English, or whatever. It just describes it, right? So, but the consciousness, the mind, the spirit, the soul of blackness, that's the main reason. Now, I love this woman, and I was telling you my commitment, my love for me. The love, when you love, there is no end to the love. For me. And I'm not talking about anybody else. This is my life philosophy. And I hope that there are some things about it that's good for me, that may be good for others, as we live in a interdependent world where we depend on one another for each other's survival. So when I looked at her picture and I realized, man, I love this woman, it's just crazy. I realized it is bigger than that too, because I did a few videos before where I was telling you that I love women. Oh, I love them. Love them. I love my mama. My mama, the lady that brought me into this world. I love her. She loved me. It's a tremendous amount of love that this woman had for me. I'll never forget it. Never forget it. And it guided me in my life, and it gave me a perspective on women. Women like Jackie. When my mother passed away, my mother died. She died on Jackie's birthday. Just show you how life is. You know, the spirit world, the will of the individual, the soul of the person. My mother died in 2014 on Jackie's birthday. So for me, my mother was handing me over from her love and protection in this physical world to the lady that I married, that I committed my life to, that I know loves me, and I love her. Just like I knew my mother loved me. There was no question. It didn't matter what I did in my life, whatever. It didn't matter, because her love was unconditional. It was going to be there until she died, and it was there until she died. That's the love that I have for Jackie, my children, my family, other women, other children, all black African people, till death. And it's never going to change. And so the reason I'm coming to you, because I wanted to make it clear, I'm a man. For me, my responsibility is to provide, make sure that I'm alive and I'm secure and in good health and good shape, so that I can have and fulfill the purpose of my life, which is to what? Meet my woman, take care of the woman, provide for her safety, security, and protection, prosperity, make sure she's living a good life, and then to bring forth children into this world, protect them, provide for their security, make sure they're having a good life, to interact socially, economically, with the other black African people in the world, so that we all can work together, so that we can provide safety, security, and prosperity for each other and our children and our prosperity, while growing through the world, becoming an older individual, and then having those people that we taught and trained and we created and made into human beings with our consciousness, our morals and values, our ideas, concepts, and philosophies, so that they learn now that they are an interdependent group, dependent upon other black African people, other people who look like them, and then we work together and we come together so that they can take care of us now that we're older, just like we were supposed to take care of the older people. Now, that generally is a life purpose. For me, I'm a man. I understand what I'm alive for, why I have breath in my body. So I love her. Now, I want to show you the reason why I say it's bigger than me just loving her. And I love her. She's been with me, and she stayed with me through all the things that we've gone through in our life, and that's what unconditional love is. I will never grow out of love, fall out of love. No, that'll never happen. Now, this is still just with her for a second before I go to the other people. If there was some event, and there is none, this is only an example, because I'll be with her till I die, okay? What I'm saying to you is this. Love now. Love. See, I love her. So what that means is, even if the relationship, the physical relationship, the relating to one another in the same house, the relating to one another together as a family, as a unit, if there was some reason, and there is no reason, it will not happen, but I'm giving you an example. If there was a reason where that type of relationship had to change, where we were separated for whatever reason, I still love her. The love never dies. I still love her. We just wouldn't be able to relate to one another in that way. Meaning, together. We accept. Maybe she gets another man, maybe I get another woman, or whatever. The point is, I would still love her. The love never dies because it was love. Love is forever. It's unconditional. It doesn't change. For me. For me. Okay? Now, why that is important is because there's a bigger picture here for all of us. When we go through life, we don't know who, this journey from the time we come out of our mother's womb, we don't know who we're going to fall in love with. We don't know who we're going to marry. We don't know who we're going to spend the rest of our lives with. We don't know. You go through this journey, and many of us, we can set aside all this social and political philosophy and propaganda that's put on us. Set all that aside for a minute and look at some facts. When you're born and you're 7 years old, 8 years old, Miyaka Saba, Miyaka Nane, you don't know who's going to be your little boyfriend, your little girlfriend. You have no idea. And then you become Miyaka Kumina Tano, Miyaka Kumina Sita. You become 15, 16 years old. You still don't know. But you meet somebody, you like them, you love them, y'all try to be together and all of that. But the likelihood of you being together till death with that person from that age is mostly improbable. Likely not to be, okay? Because we don't know. Now, that doesn't mean that because you and that person separate, then now because y'all can't be together in that physical sense and relate to one another in that intimate, close, personal relationship, that now you gotta hate the person, dislike the person, not socialize with the person. No. Now you may have to separate yourself from the person and not socialize with the person if the relationship ended in such a way that you determined that that person was unsafe, unhealthy. But if that person was unsafe and unhealthy to you at that time, then maybe they didn't love you. Maybe there was not a love. Maybe they had a different interpretation of what love is. Because when there is love, real, true love, the strongest word that we know in our English language to describe your emotional attachment to a person, when there's love, then you cannot, will not intentionally do harm to that other person. And if unintentionally you were to harm them, you would feel deep regret and deep remorse and pain and suffering because you love that person. And when you love that person, you can't bear to see them suffer and be in pain. So you would not intentionally cause that to happen, because when that happens, when you love them, you suffer when they suffer. You feel great pain when they feel great pain. And so you wouldn't harm them because you'd be harming yourself, and you just wouldn't do it. Do you understand? Okay, I'm telling you this because I love that woman, Jackie, like that. Okay? All right, now, keep telling you, it's a bigger picture. I love all of the people, you watching, you. That's why I'm putting the video out, because I love you like that. My life is dedicated and committed to you like that, just like it is to her and my children, because you are my family, my extended family. I understand that. Now, I told you love, commitment, relationship with her. Now, we go through these things these people put out here. We didn't make it a marriage. I'm talking about the word marriage. I'm talking about the political concept of marriage, the ideology of marriage, the legal concept of marriage. Where I'm from, the West, the W state, you go to them, you get there, you submit to them. You come and you say, I want a license. I want you to tell me that I get your approval to be together with this person for the rest of my life. And it's supported. This is a power move. It's nothing else. It's a form of power. And I'm gonna start talking to you about power so you understand it. So you come to them and you're coming to them saying, I submit to your will, your legal will. I become a subject to you with this permission. I'm giving you authority over me and my relationship to say what my relationship is, to define it, to make sure that it follows your laws, rules, and regulations. And that's supported by what? Oh, well, we got some social ramifications, meaning, you can't get insurance for the whole family unless you're together. If you separate, then you're going to have these kind of social and political problems or things that you got to challenges. So you better be together and so forth. This is a system to organize social relationships between people. That's not what I love her for. I love her regardless of any of all of that. I love her because I committed my life to her and I committed my soul and my spirit till death to her. It doesn't matter what any jurisdiction has to say about that. And you know that that's the case because you can commit yourself to the person and you get married. You get that little marriage license that we get in America. And then you decide, okay, we're divorcing, and you get the little divorce decree. Because remember, you can't even separate because you don't follow these people and did what they said. You can't even separate until you go back to them and get their approval to separate. You understand? It's political and social use of power and control over people to determine the nature of their relationships. Okay, that's not what my love is for her, for my children, and for you. My love is a commitment in my soul and my spirit and my body, independent of a group of people who don't look like me and you dictating the nature of our relationship. No. Now, I kept telling you this is a bigger picture. And what I mean by that is this. So I married her, but not their legal. I'm just using the word marriage to describe to you. I committed to her forever, till death. We, you and me, are supposed to commit to each other the same way. So I'm going to talk now men, brothers. See, when I was coming up, my dad, okay, first, because I told you the truth of that. My father, the guy who biologically produced me, yeah, that brother, I didn't know him. I knew who he was, but he wasn't in my life, okay? He wasn't in my life. He got caught up in the W system and was, incarcerated quite a bit. For a time he was a little boy, throughout manhood, and then I'm sure that had some impact and effect on his mentality, his approach towards life. So he wasn't in my life. There was another man, proud of this man. He stepped in, he did what he was supposed to do. He met my mother, he fell in love with her, they stayed together till death, which is good. But that brother, I love him, he committed his life to me. My love for him doesn't end. But that brother had his socialization process, grew up in the South, impacted by the W system and all its propaganda and all that. That brother never told me he loved me. I can't even remember. I can't even remember one time. Okay? Now, I'm telling you, I love you. I don't have a problem. I love you. I tell another brother, I love him, man. I love you, brother. I tell these brothers here in Tanzania all the time, I love them. Nakupenda wewe. I love you. I don't have a problem with that. It's not affecting my ego, my manhood, my masculinity. No, I love you. I tell my son, I love you. I'm telling each and every one of you, I love you. But because it's real, it means something. So this brother that came in, and this is noble of him. This is what we're supposed to be doing. My mother had 2 children. He came in, committed to them children fully financially. He was there every day. He did everything he was supposed to do. But there was a part of his behavior that is really not his fault. I know that. He could not tell me he loved me. He could not show really emotion like that. He didn't want to hug. He didn't want to do any of that. But the propaganda for men back then, during his age, you know, the John Wayne movies. Those of you who are old enough to remember this dude on TV, and a bunch of other people like. Okay, yeah, sorry, got a little interruption. But the John Wayne movies and those movies, all of that propaganda that they roll out, the image of the man, the strong man. He doesn't talk, he doesn't say anything, he's action, and he's, you know, a man of little words, but that's symbolizing his strength. Now that was back in the day. I was younger. I came in right at the tail end of that. That dude, John Wayne, was old and they weren't sure. But they replaced him with Clint Eastwood. Okay? And he all his movies, same thing. Go ahead and make my day. You know, all of this strong man, no talk, no conversation, all that. You understand? Okay, so much of that, I'm sure. And they rolled out some brothers like that too, but they kind of have the brothers being kind of silly. This is what they did in the movies. But they would roll these characters out, and these people would watch this just like I did, just like you and your children. Year after year after year, these movies come out, kind of giving you direction, an approach to living and how you're supposed to be. So he never told me he loved me. Because I had a strong mother, many conversations with her, strong, not you know, talking trash strong and just being, you know, not that. Strong meaning this woman had a strong desire to learn throughout life. So wasn't really totally from the W's education standpoint, wasn't educated in that way, but was a wise woman who educated herself in life. She read as much as she could. You know, she sought and pursued understanding of the world in which she lived in life, and was open-minded enough to receive new ideas and new information. Okay, so she taught me the importance of communicating your love and your commitment, your dedication, and opening yourself up and expressing yourself so that you can have communication and dialogue, so that you can get understanding between people. And this is what I'm telling you, men. The relationship that I have with my wife, the love and commitment with her, till death, it's the same relationship I have with you, men. Yeah, I love you, because you're my brothers. Together, we have to work together, interdependently, to provide for our own safety and security, because there's some people out here, they don't have our best interests in mind, and they're working together. They understand they are men, and they're trying to protect and preserve and maintain their power and dominance over you, me, people who look like you and me. So if we are to survive in a peaceful, healthful way, then we have to work together and have that same love and commitment that I just described to you, that I have for Jackie. Love till death. I don't mean we don't argue and fight and have disagreements and all that. Some disagreements we have, we will never come together on, ever. But that doesn't mean we let those disagreements separate us in such a way that we can't function together in harmony and in peace to achieve the goals, the common goals that we have. You understand? Okay, so this is what we have, men, when we decide to love one another. I'm hoping that something that I've said with respect to love for one another, just like whatever woman you have that you love, there's nothing wrong with having that same deep emotional attachment and feeling towards your fellow brother, because that's what we're going to need to deal with these people. And you also going to have to take that same love that you have for that woman that same love and desire for that you have for your mama, if you loved your mama, or if you love your woman in the way that I just described, till death, unbreakable and unstoppable, you're going to have that same love and desire for the people, Black African people all over the world. Because it is that love and desire that comes for us together that will allow us to be united in purpose and action and intentionality, so that we're just not talking about what is happening to us, but we're talking about what must be done to stop it. And that love and commitment is till death, meaning it never ends. No matter what the minor disagreements we have between each other, it never ends. We don't use some small, insignificant conflict, some small, insignificant disagreement to separate us from the greater goal of our protecting our children and our women and our elderly until prosperity through life. No, that's foolishness. That's immaturity. That's a lack of wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the world that you live in, where you are surrounded by demons. Do you understand? Who do not have your best interests at heart, and who are purposely united with intentionality to do harm to you, to prevent you from living in peace